So back to the squash. So here's my Peter Pan dwarf patty pan squash, my acorn squash, and these are 2-foot by 44-inch beds. And these things on the side are my grow bag potato plants that I planted. They're like, I don't know, almost a week behind that. So that is my 2-foot by 10-foot and 2-foot by 8-foot beds, and my potato plants that I planted around Valentine's Day. And then about a week after that, I planted these in these grow bags, and they are getting huge. They're starting to have flowers on them. The ones over here already have flowers on them, but just a week or so ago, I planted the rest of my potatoes in these feed sacks, and they are starting to come up. That just saw that they emerged. So here's a new thing. So been needing to put this final bed in my garden to complete my garden, and I made this keyhole bed, and these cinder blocks actually used to be right there on the other side of the fence. They belong to my neighbor. She's in a nursing home now, and they've been there probably 15 plus years in a stack right there, and I've always wanted them because I love making beds out of cinder blocks. And I've been telling her sons that I want the cinder blocks when they start. So they started cleaning her yard a couple days ago and said, "Will you get these cinder blocks?" Like, yes, I will. I absolutely will, because I was in a dilemma of exactly how I was going to go about building this bed. If I was going to do it, I was going to break out the saw and start messing with my aluminum and get it put in once and for all. And so it was perfect timing. And I love how it turned out with the cinder blocks. It's just a big, huge, lovely keyhole bed that is just perfect for me to grow anything I want. And my berry bed is still neglected back there in the corner. And this is my spaghetti squash. So you can see that it has started to bloom. And if you see down here with this and vine out, if you see down here with the acorn squash, see if I can find one. Okay, there you go. There's the acorn squash right there. So I might get a mess of squash before all the worms and bugs and vine borers take over. Just planted up this pot of purple beauty bell peppers, and there's my purple onions, and then those are my golden tomatillo husk cherries right there. And I've been dragging my big pots of peppers into the garden so I can fertilize them, and they can get take advantage of the watering system out here and hopefully take off. And there is another pot of jalapenos and a purple jalapeno in there. And I've been pulling out cauliflower as it's coming out and sprouting. So I'm about to have some room for a couple more tomatoes. And same thing still happening down there. Cabbage is heading up. And Brussels sprouts are doing really good in the corner. I might actually get some Brussels sprouts. They have baby Brussels sprouts all over them, so I am hoping. You can see the Savoy cabbage heading up right there. I've picked about 3 of my head up hybrid cabbage already. There's some onions, and then right here I have some sugar daddies and super sugars, and this 2-foot by 10-foot bed right here. And then here's the 3 beds of potatoes on the other side. And then I got some lima beans growing here. I only figured out what that was. It's lima beans that I had planted back in the fall that never did anything until now. But now you can see there's some lima beans. And then I planted some pickling cucumbers down here. And on the other side of this trellis, on this 2-foot bed, I planted more of the royalty purple and the Cherokee wax. And then I got more peppers growing everywhere, transplants, and then here is a black beauty and a fire feather. Just getting huge on me. Still got a few carrots from the fall. Swiss chard, and I did plant my lettuce. So there is red, green salad bowl and ruby red lettuce that I've planted in these two. And then over here, I forget what I planted in here, but this is some more of the dwarf blue kale and some Tom Thumb lettuce. That's what I planted in there. And I'm just gonna wait and get some more potting soil because I'm being stingy with it because I don't want to go to the store. So I also planted these 2 bowls with mescaline mixed black seeded Simpson and a couple other varieties. Moved my strawberries and mint into the garden for some water. They were drying out too quick. And there's some more. And then here's my tomatoes that I had up by my planting station that I pulled out here, the cherry tomatoes in Phoenix, and my radishes. And so far the black radishes haven't done nothing but make huge tops, so I don't think I'll be planting those again. Some more pepper plants, tomato plants, fire feathers, and Cherokee purple. And Cherokee purple is happy. It's got a lot of blooms on it. Then here's some sunflowers and Rutgers tomato I planted in a pot. And then back here I got all my little tire village with my, and there's my banana plant that I pulled into the garden so it can get plenty of water. It's coming back and has 2 new babies this year, or maybe 3. Like 3 new babies on it this year. So I just got that last year, around springtime, maybe May or June. And then here are the rest of my tomatoes that I have in the ground that are not in pots. Kellogg's, Napa Chardonnay, Firebird Feather, Pink Ox Heart. I gotta tie some of these up. The winds, spring winds are been blowing them a little bit. Dr. Witchy, Blueberry Clackamas, and Chocolate Stripe. Abe Lincoln, Beefsteak, Black Beauty, Romas, Azoichas, more Abe Lincoln, Beefsteak, and there's some more that I need to tie up because the wind's knocking them down. And I planted some more orange Totoros in this pot here. And then here's my little cucumber alley. I got Marketmore cucumbers right here that I just planted. And this is a variety of the, let's see, Space Master Bush cucumber. That's part of the seeds that I thought were no good that I tried out. Now, right now it's the biggest, happiest cucumber I got. Some muncher cucumbers in there with it, and some Marketmores and some Armenian cucumbers, the long snake cucumbers, and then also got some homemade pickles in there. And some more peppers, and here's my corn. I planted some sunflowers in the middle of the corn. And my cabbage is still covered up right there. Hopefully can head up some more before those slugs take them out and the stales. And then here in these tires, So there's the carrots I planted back in January. And then, or tires. These cinder blocks. There's some chocolate mint on the end. And then the rest of these are French breakfast radishes. And I made some more progress on my bean bed. I've got an azoica tomato over there. And I planted a couple sunflowers right there. And then I got San Marzano tomato. And then here I planted some more dragon tongues. And I got the burpee stringless, red swan, Kentucky wonder, tender green bush beans, and then they go all the way around, more tender greens, and then I've got the rattlesnake pole beans and Kentucky wonders growing on the fence. And then I still have a couple more cabbages under here, and my peas are starting to give out a little bit. That's funny how a week ago they were just a couple of days ago, they were just happy as they could possibly be. And then now, so many days of such high heat in a row is starting to make them kind of get wilted and start to die off. And I still got some broccoli right here and a couple of cabbage. And that is it for this area. So this is what the garden is looking like on March 26, 2020. Still a work in progress, but it is starting to explode. Hopefully in another 2 months I will be buried in potatoes and tomatoes and green beans. Green beans and tomatoes, or bush beans and tomatoes, are my favorite thing to grow ever. And carrots are beginning to be one of my favorite things too. But I cannot wait to be canning those and just bringing giant basketfuls instead of handfuls in each day. So, alright, that's it. See you later.